There's a lot of commercial buildings out there, especially office spaces connected to warehouses. Now, we do air tightness testing in commercial, residential, but we do focus a lot on the commercial space here at Efficiency Matrix. We've just done a blower door test on this property, and it's shot at 10 meters cubed per hour per meter square at 50 pascals. It's not too bad. I reckon other factories out there could be a lot worse than this, potentially well above 20, which is a lot leakier than what we should be accepting in our building stock for commercial buildings. Now, comfort is important, indoor air quality. Just in this particular facility, we're very close to a dump yard. There's a concrete distribution center just close by here. On those windy days, there's dust everywhere. So it's really critical that we get our office spaces as airtight as possible. These roofs, they do go into a negative pressure when you've got high winds blowing off them. So a lot of this dust, as we will find out in our ceiling here, behind the false ceiling tiles, we're going to be finding a lot of dust that's just coming from around the area on those windy days. Now, Efficiency Matrix specializes in air tightness testing of buildings like this, but we can also get into assisting companies in getting them tighter, in retrofitting air tightness in these types of buildings, separating them from warehouses where you might have gas or petrol forklifts or scissors operating, which will produce carbon monoxide. You want to make sure that that carbon monoxide doesn't get into the office area where people are trying to concentrate and work. So let's go through, we'll have a look at what level of air tightness we got here, and then we'll move into where this building is leaking and what we can potentially do to get them remediated. Let's just have a look up in this corner. There was a lot of airflow in this corner. It looks like that there's some old ventilation here. It's just a duct with a Chinaman's hat sitting up on the roof. That's just completely open and just left there. You can see there's a lot of cobwebs and spider webs here as well. That's probably enjoying some of the airflow at this point. So this either needs to be used for a ventilation system with a draft stopper, or we've just got to seal it up. The other thing to take notice here of is the whaler plate that's along the whole perimeter here. There is going to be some level of leakage around the roof on the perimeter here, as well as on the side here. You can see that foil wrap isn't going to give this building on the roof a decent level of air tightness. So we might have to think about how else we're going to get this roof to be a lot more airtight than what it is.
Okay, we investigated a bit further because we had a rattling noise and it was a bit windy yesterday. We've opened up the ceiling and we've found we have an access hatch. It's not insulated. There's something wrong with the construction of it, and there's no seals. So we're just looking at points of interest first. And look, if you have a look here, there's no seals on the top or underneath the hatch. We're going to incorporate a seal between this and the lid itself, and we'll insulate this, potentially a foam or something, so that we've got a bit of a thermal break on it as well.
The other thing that I've noticed up here is that we've got a lot of cassettes. So the previous owners of this commercial building in the office area is that they've really struggled with the heat up here by the looks of it. They've got a cassette there, cassette here, another cassette in this room here. For such a small area up here, it's a lot of air conditioning. So clearly there are some issues with stack effect. So here we go, we've got another split system in this corner office, which also has some glazing into the north. So there's a significant amount of energy coming in from these windows that we've got here. All the air from downstairs as well, especially the warmer air, is just going to be traveling up here onto the second floor, wherever we've got any air leaks around this roof junction to the perimeter precast tilt panels for this factory. This air is just going to go straight out. So it's a big chimney effect in these older commercial buildings. Definitely we can get some significant improvement in the performance for energy efficiency and indoor comfort / indoor air quality improvement, because we're in quite a dusty location here. The less air flows from outside into the actual factory itself, the better it is. When we're lifting up these ceiling tiles as well, and we're getting around the insulation, there's polyester insulation directly abutted to the false ceiling here, we're finding a lot of dust that's coming out of the insulation. So there is a lot of dust from outside air just floating and getting inside this roof area. Okay, so here it was really dusty. We had incredible amounts of airflow from the box gutter. The actual side of the box gutter is way too short. There's like a 60mm gap. Also, this is a massive risk if we have significant amount of water coming down. In fact, there was a month ago, there was a ceiling tile got damaged. Significant water was coming from the box gutter in the corner there. We really need to repair that, make sure more water can be stored by the box gutter, and that'll improve the air tightness of this roof as well. So this is around about a 40 to 60mm gap for the whole length of the factory, which is crazy. But it's also really risky because massive waterfalls here on this box gutter, we're gonna definitely get water come into the actual factory itself. So not a good thing. So the good news here though is that we can easily get access to remediate this. We'll be putting in some flashing that'll just make up that length and then allow us to just make that sealed top and bottom with like a polyurethane, something that's rated for outdoor use and will handle some movement. But you can clearly hear the sound here. We are getting a lot of airflow, especially when it's a lot warmer up here on the second floor. A lot of the energy is passing up the two stairwells on either side of this factory and just passing up this point and all the other points that are a lot smaller. But you can hear the air moving at this point here.
This office is pretty fortunate in that 5 out of 6 sides are made out of solid concrete, the floor and then precast concrete walls on 4 sides. These all need to join the roof assembly, which in this case is a built-up metal roof with blanket insulation. Airflow in here is still important for energy use, for comfort, acoustics, and health. So we can tell that there's no air barrier in a building like this with a drop ceiling because each tile allows air to move through it. Acoustic tiles often let air pass through, and there's many hundreds of meters of cracks along here. So each of these let air through, and you can tell just from the dust in this insulation, the dust tells the story. Where dust collects, that means air moved through. So air has been moving through these things for a long time. A lot of other offices that are inside a large warehouse, they're missing a roof altogether because they're never going to see rain, so no one figures that they need to make a solid roof for it. So that's the really weak point, is that we just treat this as if it's totally indoors. Again, the top of the office that's inside the warehouse needs an air barrier at the top. This building has purlins going in this direction, and those go over the concrete panel walls. Where those purlins go perpendicular to the precast concrete panel wall, each one of those is like ductwork going from in here to the rest of the warehouse. It's like that in a lot of offices. So what you can do to make that slightly better is where those purlins go across that boundary, block that off between each purlin with some solid material so that you make an air barrier from the top of the concrete panel at each purlin, like plugging up all those holes, and it goes along the entire length of that framing.
These older commercial buildings, 20 years plus, you're always going to get some movement. We've clearly got some movement here. This seal has cracked open. We're also going to have this problem on the other side, but this just has to be maintained. Inside the actual warehouse area as well, there was no foam put in between the precast panel and the concrete that was put in. So it looks like it's sort of squashed up the concrete and it's bowing out a little bit in a particular point. They're old buildings, they're not going to be perfect, but we can retrofit them and make them a bit more airtight. This is definitely leaking. You can feel the airflow here. This is another interesting one. We've got an exhaust fan here. It's got an opening behind there to the outside, but it's not ducted to that opening. So it's basically just exhausting into the subfloor in between the floors. We've also got a stink pipe that isn't going to the outside. It's just sitting in the subfloor. So that's also potentially pressurizing sewer air and pushing it into the subfloor of this commercial building. We haven't seen this before in commercial. We've seen it a lot in some residential developments, But yeah, this is a massive issue. You really want to know about this stuff happening inside a conditioned office space. This has to be moved outside where it's safe to be ventilating. So a little bit of work to be done here. It's also got a permanently opening to the outside here without any sort of a draft stopper. So we will get this remediated, but we picked this up with the blower door test and it was a doozy. So the other issue is we've got a conditioned space here to a warehouse, not conditioned, conditioned. This is a permanent opening where the conditioned air is just going to be moving in and out of this warehouse. So we are going to be closing this off. For the air tightness test that we're doing here, we're going to be using the grill mask tape from tighthouse.com.au. This is a perfect material for just temporarily sealing up openings that you know you're going to be sealing and getting rid of when we're doing an initial air tightness test, just to get a feeling of where the air tightness of this facility is, but also just being able to troubleshoot some other areas too. If you don't cover off these areas, you're not going to be able to get pressure in it. Yeah, it's really easy. Perforated tape, easy to get off, least likely to take off paint when you're removing it as well. So we've just had a look at some of the basic issues that we've got wrong with this commercial property, how it's potentially connected to the warehouse, but also how it's openly connected to the outside as well. Over time, we can realise some pretty significant savings for heating and cooling. You also don't need to run as many of the split systems that you might already have installed, but also the indoor health of your occupants within these office areas is also absolutely critical for concentration and productivity. So getting a more airtight building envelope adds considerable value from all aspects of operating a business. So for all your air tightness, either testing or even remediation works, or even giving your organisation direction on how you might be able to remediate key areas inside your office buildings connected to warehouse spaces, call Efficiency Matrix and we'll be able to quote and get you an understanding of where you are with the integrity of your office space.
Oh my dude. You're killing me. Yeah. Oh, what was that?
So the other issue, and we're also got a concrete factory. What the f? What the f?